party, right? That's ridiculous. You know, people hang out and they just chat all the time. For some people, people watch it. So we'll see if I can. Yeah, there we go. All right. Let me get that camera tilted up a little bit. So how y'all doing today? Hope everyone is well. Got the chat up so that if you guys do actually want to talk, cool. Talk about projects, we'll hang out, you know? You guys can watch me eat my snacks. The satisfying crunch of Doritos. This live of DPC is brought to you by Potential Kidney Stones. Get yours today. And I'm all alone, nobody loves me, no one has shown. That's okay. We'll just pretend we have an audience. Oh, this is a nice one. Operation Iraqi Freedom. And it has the functioning lock. For safety. So YouTube goes, oh, he's showing about safety. So obviously, open your knife away from you and engage your lock. That way the blade can't fold in on your fingers. I'm just kidding. This is like a freaking Mad Max version of Mr. Roger Neighborhood, man. I'm telling you, it's not, you know, when you're, I'm so proud of you, getting your own shank. You're learning so much. Yeah, we got people come in, sit down, relax. Let's just chill. You know what? Prices of eggs are up. World War III's around the corner. Screw it. Have a Dorito. That's some good shit. So how's everybody doing tonight? Well, I hope everything is wonderful as your Well, thank you. God bless you too. I guess my beard is it wasn't the focal point of today, but I appreciate the compliment. No, we're just chilling. Is what pink? What are you talking? I don't understand what you're talking about, Gavin. Hello, Braden. Come on, let's chat, everybody. We're just gonna talk. We're gonna talk about whatever. You know, throw a comment. Tell me what you're thinking of everything. You see, if you've seen anything on my channel that interests you, you can ask questions about that. But we're just relaxing. You know, we're just kicking back, talking. Or like a group chat that, you know, just chilling. It's past midnight where you're at. Oh yeah, okay. kind of quad is it? I've had that, issue. As a matter of fact, I think. Hold on a second. Ow. Oh. This is the box of shame. I don't even know how to explain that. Hold on. I know I saw it in here. Yeah, this thing. I want to put this together, but I found it in a box somewhere, and I don't know what to do with it. It's I've got blades for it in another box. I have no idea how to put this in. I mean, I do, but I think it's missing some carbon fiber pieces for the battery pack and everything. I have to do some 3D printing to make it work. Do you recognize this one at all? Wow, that flies. Does it look familiar to you? I don't even know what controller that is. Maybe you guys can see it. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna focus in. I'm not even entirely sure. I couldn't tell you what this is. Oh, this is the flight controller right here. That's just the ESC. Does that flight controller look familiar? I'm trying to get it to where you can see it here. I don't know what that is. It's just sitting here in a box. Yeah, the flight controller's on there because it's connected to the ESC. I know that much. And I know all this has got to be resoldered. But I don't know what this is. I don't know who makes this. I can't figure it out. We may have to put this together so we have something to fly around, because I got extra, flight controller and not flight controller. I don't want to put like a Speedy Bee wing on here. It'd be a little too much. But I have a 2.4 gigahertz Radio Master ELRS receiver I can throw on there. I don't know if it's salvageable. They got at least I know what the cap is that they're using. It's still halfway connected. So, anyway, I found this. So, I don't know the voltage though. I'm relying on you. Yeah, I figured you'd know. More than I would about some of these flight controllers. I don't know what this one is. We'll figure it out. We'll get this thing going so we can kind of fly around because I do need to practice acro flying, because I'm telling you right now, I am not an acro pilot. Not even close. Angle mode is my friend. Mark, how's it going, man? Yes, the trolls. I that's what I was talking about in the video. I was like, bring on, we want the trolls coming in. Come on in, man. Have a seat. Take a load off. Insult some people if you want. Just, don't be ludicrous. Yeah. I'm a big toddler, bearded baby man. That's what I am. I'm probably going to live more than every single one of you that will be here today. So, make your comments now. So when you're on your walker, I'm going to trip you. Right side of where I live, I was taking some samples in the backyard. I don't know if you can all see that. It's gold. Not very much, but I mean, if it's on your soil, you know, right when you walk out of the door. But I can't get a good shot of it. I don't know if we can. Let me try and get a good shot. Anyway, we'll try that again later. Nice to find though on your property. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, I'm gonna actually practice the going switching from the angle to the acro mode using that one because I found it. I didn't pay for it. I don't know where it came from. If I did pay for it, it was so long ago I don't remember. Any of the missing parts I can just print off the Bamboo Lab and design them up in Fusion, get them going. And I know I have props for this because I have a box that has 2 sets of props for this. And there's another, I think there's another flight controller in there. I don't know where all, it's just older stuff, I'm guessing, laying around. Where am I from? I am. Are you asking me directly, or are you asking somebody else? I guess you would be saying that in the chat if you were asking somebody in the chat, right? I am from the suburbs in the Central Valley of California. So, well, about the most exciting thing that happens around here is an earthquake or two. I mean, unless it's 4.5 or lower, then nobody gives a damn. 6 is a fun ride. 7 hits close enough. That'll shake the house. But yeah, I'm, the best place to be to actually fly. Because I've got plenty of, realistically, I just have orchards surrounding me. So it's pretty good. And we've got a couple of lakes nearby. A friend of mine owns some property, up in the mountains. So if I want to go up there and do some drone tests, he's got plenty of property to do that. So yeah, we're just talking like what's going on in the world, man. I live indoors. I have the internet, but I know what's going on. It's just things are getting crazy out there, right? Like the chicken mafia is freaking down on us with the eggs and stuff, and everyone's saying like the bird flu ain't in other countries. How come it's just here and they're just killing the chickens here? And I'm like, well, they make vaccines with eggs. It's one of the primary components in the influenza vaccine. That's why they ask you if you're allergic to eggs or anything like that before they give it to you. So, yeah, that's where your eggs went for the next pandemic. It wasn't that hard to process this because it's just more just I panned it out of the soil on the gold. They're a big one. I was answering your question about the gold. I have, that blue bowl too that kind of spins the water and then drops it down into the bucket, and you recycle the water and get the fine gold out of that. That I can get. I can go straight down to the river and dig up black sand, 10 feet deep. Bring it home and process it. But yeah, usually the blue bowls will get the flour gold with, and then pan out any of the pickers that I can get, and then process the rest that way. Haven't thought about. Well, I have thought about processing black sand, but I need a furnace, and you need to have the cupels and stuff if you're going to be doing it with using metals to collect it. You need something. The cupels absorb the other metals, the impurities. I'll give you that gold button. But you need some gear for that, you know. So what else is going on? What do you guys think of what's going on between, like, okay, who's up for Canada being the 51st state rather than a loft apartment over a really great party? I'm just curious. Do you want them to be the 51st state? Do the Canadians wish to be part of the glorious United States? It is a question I often ask myself because some of them are like adamantly against it, and then some are totally for it. But I can't get their reasoning behind whether or not they're for it or against it. So it's like we got to ask a Canadian. We got any Canadians? Any Canadians here? No Canada, not Canada. No Canada. Just keep it the way it is. I mean, we've got Alaska hanging off the tip of it. We might as well just take the rest of it, right? Then just, I mean, Iron Dome the whole thing. That's what I think. His politics overall, he's playing hardball this time. He's seen how things have gone in the past. The Biden administration was more of a practicing the downfall of the United States. But Trump sees what's going on, and he basically is like, I'm pulling out of this, we're pulling out of that, you're not paying your fair share. Why should we be carrying the weight of it all, to be honest with you? I think it's good that he's trying to make NATO countries pay their fair share. It's like you're going to rely mainly on the United States for protection in most cases because, let's face it, we're badass. You know? So I think him playing hardball and setting the stage and saying, look, hey, you want me to broker a peace deal, then, you know, you all got to come to the table with something, not just the U.S. being, you know, well, we'll make sure. No, screw that. Put the hammer down on the table and just let them know. It's like, you guys got to cut this crap out. You want us to broker the deal? You want us to broker a peace between you guys? I demand this. I demand that. Screw that. You ain't got nothing to demand. You've got nothing. You've got nothing. That's it. Minerals? So what? So do we. Oil? So do we. The only reason why we're not extracting it from here is because you've got freaking every climate activist from here to freaking the East Coast complaining about it. But now we're at a point where it's screw them anyway, who cares? And we could be an energy independent nation. And then we wouldn't have to worry about their bullshit. And they could fight it out for themselves. I mean, that's the way things have been going on for what? Millions and millions of years? Look at Rome. Do you guys like the policies of Rome? Or did you just like Rome in general? I mean, that's a good example. I mean, at least now we have a voice for the most part as the people because there's too many. I'm not saying all politicians are, you know, clean. We know better. But we have a voice as a people now because there's way too much oversight for there not to be. Because we see it all. Everything's fed to us through social media. And those who are smart enough to figure out what's AI and what isn't, they know what's going on. It's that simple. It comes down to the Constitution. That's all there is to it. This country was founded as a republic. So if people don't like that, they need to get over it. Ruled by fear? What, the United States? Yeah. Putin rules by fear. Hitler ruled by fear. That's how they ruled. No, this is a businessman running a country that everyone's allowed to be incorporated. So you're gonna turn a country into a business. You need a businessman to run it, not a politician. And that's the damn truth. But you see all the protests. We hate it here. We hate this. We hate that. We hate it. Well, then go somewhere else. No one's stopping you. Now, coming back might be a little difficult. I personally should have thought they should have brought back trebuchets. And we made deportation a lot easier and cheaper. And hell, it'd be a fun ride. I mean, it was getting to the point in the Biden administration, I was ready to renounce my United States citizenship just so I could immigrate back illegally and be able to afford to live. No protests I see. I'm sorry, without punctuation, I kind of get what you're saying, but like no protests. Ah, I see. Like put a comma there, then I know that that's what you're saying. Yeah. How's what working now? Again, specifics in the comments would help. Still waiting for what you're asking. How's what working now? Which complaint? What complaint? I mean, specifics. Got the ADHD brain going, so it's like. Drones. See, there's a good question right there. We'll wait for Mark to figure out what he's trying to say, and then we'll talk about drones. Well, what do you want to know about drones? They fly. I'm making bladeless ones. Well, internally inducted bladed ones. Because I love the whole concept of a flying car. I do. Except the ones that they say are flying cars right now are using huge props. 2 of them per corner. Coaxial. And oh my gosh, I can't. They're like your first flying car. It can hold like 1 person, maybe 2, possibly even 3, for 10 minutes. Can you imagine? I mean, we got to move to EDF technology so that everything's internal, so you can go from the road to the air and then back to the ground again. Because the flying cars they have right now, can you imagine a Black Friday sale at Target? There'll be decapitations up and down the parking lot. People trying to find a place to land. If you've never flown a drone before, I suggest going onto Amazon and getting something that's inexpensive but will kind of teach you the fundamentals. It'll be self-stabilizing, so you can get some that are fairly inexpensive. You can even get some that come with goggles that are pretty cheap, just to kind of get started. And that'll teach you the differences between the modes. Your stabilized flight mode, your angled mode, your acro mode, which is not stabilized, so every stick movement puts you into a wall, that kind of thing. That and those kind of more inexpensive drones you find online are easy to get. The replacement propellers. 2 words I was trying to get out at the same time. And they typically it charges, comes with the charging cable and everything like that, internal battery. Um, and it'll kind of give you want to get the flight fundamentals down first on a smaller drone like that. And then you'll kind of get it. What it's going to be hard to do if you've never flown one. And then once you turn, you're like, okay, I can fly, I can move left, I can move right, I can go forward, I can go backwards. The moment you yaw, and then the controls are like, oh my gosh, now it's going this way. Now, you'll get it. One day it'll click. You'll go, I know what I'm doing. You got to picture yourself in the proverbial pilot seat of the drone. So while you're doing your yawing and turning around, those controls are reversed now if you're facing you. So with the drone, so put yourself in the pilot seat of the drone. When it turns, pretend you're turning. The stick movements are still going to be the same to control it. It's just going to be oriented different. So that's what you want to do. So goggles would probably be the best way to show you that. The Avata is a good one. I mean, that's a good one to start with. You don't want to start with something that has too much technology, because then it takes away from the learning curve of doing drones like this, where you're relying on you're picking the motor, you're picking the ESC and the flight controller, you're learning how to program it, that kind of thing, using iNav or the SpeedDB app or whatever, or whatever flight controller software you want to use, because you're going, for the most part, you have to understand ELRS, or whatever other protocols that you're going to be using to control it with, and then you have to buy your transmitter based on that, or buy one that can accept different modules. So, because they have the ELRS 945 megahertz, and you have 2.4, that kind of thing. So you can drown in it if you're not careful. So, you just got to start off simple if you're looking to build your own. Yeah, that's the thing. Even as long as I've been messing with drones, I'm still not comfortable with acro. Especially for me, because most of my drones, like the Shrike that I built and the Shrike XL that I'm building now, out of the 170 millimeter EDFs, that's going to be, I have to leave that in angle mode because we're still testing the stability of the engine and the whole system together as a whole. But the Shrike concept drone, I have a playlist for that. If you watch the V10 Maiden video, you can kind of see where I got 470 millimeter EDFs to work as a drone. People were like, oh, that looks like a fat drone. Well, it was 3D printed, so get over it. And it was carrying a big battery, like a 6,000 milliamp, 22.2 volt. And I was I was running an APD 500X for the power distribution board, so because I was pulling probably 340, 380 amps, somewhere around there. So with all 470 millimeters spinning, so I had to have the distribution board that could handle the heat. So that was fun. And then getting that to work with the SpeedDB F405 wing for control, I was able to make a fairly stable EDF drone. It was fun. Wish I still had it together on that one. I had to take it apart because when I was working on the Javelin, I had to use those components because I didn't have enough cash flow, to get another 4 motors, and the ESCs cost $300. The iFlight EP3 V2s, I think, is what they were. So D-Shot 600. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I like watching Joshua Bardwell. He's got some good advice sometimes. And I'll have to check out his acro flying stuff, because that's gonna help me. Because acro, you gotta remember, the moment you move that stick, it's not going back. You've got no gyro stabilization. There's no auto correction. It is stick correction only. And that's what gets me. It gets me every time, man, because I like push it sideways. I go back, I'm like, holy crap! Now, before you know it, you're going back and forth so fast, you're already in the ground or upside down. But it's fun either way. Good learning experience. I still don't have a good set of goggles. Thank Warrior. What does that even mean, dude? Acro is basically you put in a stick movement and the drone's going to keep going that way regardless of whether you let go of the stick or not. You have to you have to literally pull back the same amount that you push left. You got to go right. Angle mode, once you let the stick off and it goes center, it'll auto level. And angle mode can be adjusted in iNav to go from whatever degree of angle you're comfortable with when you're learning. So, yeah. So if you're going to get into building your own and you're using iNav, turn on angle mode and set it to a comfortable degree. You can't flip it over. You can't, you know what I mean? And you can't, you're never going to flip it over. You're never going to lose total control of it. I'm not going to say that because you might still lose total control of it. Who knows? But Mark's making no sense today. I think he's dreaming. He's just typing it out or something. He says, go back to pretend. Mark, what are we pretending today? What are you pretending today? My existence has offended him somehow. No. It's okay, Mark. You can say whatever you want. If it's mean, it's mean. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Your anguish sustains me. So, carry on. I'm gonna sit here and just eat my Doritos, drink my Monster, and talk to some good people. Mark didn't get hugged enough. He either didn't get hugged enough or too much. Know what I'm saying? Alright. I know, I will go back to talking to drone, for sure. But I love this part. It's when the trolls come in and realize that I'm trolling. I'm trolling for them. And they come in here and take the bait every time. I can't help it if I'm sexy. You want to keep looking, go ahead. Where's all my subs at, man? Where's my crew? The one that's helping me work on all this stuff. An ant got in my way. He is now dead. Don't call PETA on me, Mark. It was an ant. This is tobacco, just in case you want to try to throw something else at me. But with the state I live in, even if it wasn't tobacco, there wouldn't be shit you could do about it. I think he's trying to think of something to say. I'm waiting. Come on, man. That's what I live for. Watching the libs melt down. And don't get me wrong, I expect you as a human. Respect you completely. You are entitled to your opinion. Still waiting for what I'm pretending. What am I pretending? I want to know. Ain't gonna say nothing. Just hiding in the corner of the internet. Anybody else got any actual relevant questions? Or hell, irrelevant questions. It doesn't matter. We're just chatting. We're just kicking back. Having a good time. You know, wow, I can say from that statement right there, you are totally correct. But for me, stabilize an angle is when you command angles with sticks. Acro is when you command the drone to cut your lawn. Who's the baby? Again, he's like spewing. Look at this. Everybody look in the chat. He's like spewing shit out. It don't even make any sense. Poor babies. Which babies are you referring to? If it was your brother or your sister that never made it, you can probably blame your mother. Someone's mad that Dora the Explorer is getting deported. Right? You're afraid of something. Put down the mirror, Mark. You'll be alright. Mark's got a beef with me. Well, thank you for entertaining me like this, Mark. This is exactly what I was hoping for. And that was for everyone to come in here and voice your freedom of speech. He thinks I care about how many people are watching too. How many subscribers you got there, Mark? I'll be serious. I mean, you don't want to start measuring tools, buddy. You'll start crying. And we don't want you to cry. We want you to have a good time while you're here. And it sounds to me like you're having a good time because you're still here talking. Is that a yawn? Is that what that is? Or are you shoving something in your mouth? I imagine it's probably the latter. Don't you have any more friends that can come on? You're getting kind of boring. Someone maybe with some better insults or something. And proper punctuation, of course.
Wow asked you a question above all that.
Yeah, I answered them, I think.
You did? Okay.
Oh, wait. Where did you get particular design ideas for the blade shapes? Compression chamber. Are you talking about on the, well, this stupid thing? Get out of the way. Okay, here we go. Oh, well, the blade is modeled after a Pratt and Whitney 22 blade high pass for the turbine. Um, the Strike, the actual 70 million, those are just your standard EDFs off of Amazon. So, but the 170 millimeters modeled after a Pratt and Whitney high pass fan. The chambers on the back of the V1 stubby, um, I basically removed the compressor from a Pratt and Whitney engine and just went with the low pressure turbine system, because if I was going to spin it electrically from the front, then if it was all spinning on the same shaft, obviously you're going to get airflow through the small chamber, which is going to be compressed and go through the 5 blades of the low compressor and out the stator and then the rear. Uh, and that forced air in through the low pressure turbine would act as somewhat of what the compressor would do if you were burning fuel, but it would alleviate some of the tension, some of the torque off of the motor, which was one of the reasons why I left the low pressure turbine system in there. And then I thought, if I get a powerful enough motor, I'm going to do away with the 5 blade low pressure turbine. And I designed an impeller to go in that area so that I could force more air out through the center for a later adaptation of an afterburner. So that's what I did that for. There's hate in there's hate in my eye? Really? Wow. I hope you have a therapist, Mark. I really want you to be like mentally healthy. I don't know what you're doing. I am beautiful, thank you. Extremely beautiful. Put all those Hollywood makeup covered meat sacks to shame, I'll tell you that. Yeah, they are optimized for their real size. And when I scaled it down, I kind of had to take that into consideration. So we scaled it down proportionally, and if you went down to a mass airflow of 0.665 kilograms per second, it did scale linearly, but the only problem I had was the motor size to spin it, an electric motor. Direct drive wasn't going to be enough. There was too much resistance against fan blades. I even thought about removing half the blades and just going with an 11 and maintain the same pitch and see what the difference was. And if it kept the heat down on an 800 or 650 kV direct drive motor. But instead of doing that, which I still will do, there is 2 different versions of this. You've seen the other one. It's spun up with a low kV, high torque motor that pushes a 4-to-1 gear ratio through a planetary gear system, which drives the fan. Um, Mainly because I had a target RPM. If you take the target RPM for the scaled model and you scale it down, you're looking, I'm over the limit on the scaled up version. So at 32,000, if you were to scale that up to the actual size of the Pratt and Whitney high pass fan, then you would get not even close to those on the RPM. It'd be too much. At that point, you're like turning. If you're spinning the fan that fast, and it's the scaled up version, you might as well just turn on the scramjets because you're like at Mach 1. Everyone give a heart to Mark. I think he needs some love. What do you think, man? We all love Mark, right? Regardless of what he thinks of me, and apparently the hate in my eyes that he's noticed for some reason. Um, we still love him. Don't go anywhere. You're awfully quiet for someone who doesn't know how to shut up. No, you're welcome here. So if you have like something you want to get off your chest, just say it. I ain't gonna judge. I'm not. I'll try and help you out. I mean, we'll go over things that happened in your past, and then we'll kind of sort it all out. You know. So, or if you just need someone to vent on, you can do it right here. Just vent, man. Just vent. Just let it all out. Get that box of tissues ready and just, grab your soy latte and just let it out. Come on. You know you want to. I'm already under your skin, so you might as well keep pushing. He's all 3. You've got 3 watching. Probably more subscribers than you have. But that's not what this is about. This is about you coming in and relaxing, having a good time, chatting about drones, or whatever hobby you like, as long as it's legal. And then, we talk, we kick back, we have something to drink, snack, a little bit of tobacco, relax, have a good time. What the hell does that even mean? What? Do the acoustics make me sound different? You're going to have to be specific. At least you have a woman sounding one in your garage. Most Republicans don't. You're. Oh, what the fuck that even mean? What does my voice have to do with being a Republican? I'm just curious. So, if you're on the side who isn't supposed to stereotype, yet you're stereotyping by saying that, doesn't that make you a hypocrite? Or am I stereotyping? I await your retort. A woman would put up with me?
He's saying because he heard me.
Okay, heard you talking? Oh, okay. I hear you.
I would gladly put up with you every day.
Oh, hey, you put up with me every day you want,
For the
baby.
rest of my
Matter of
life.
fact, when we're
For
done
the
here, you're
rest
going to
of
put
my
up with
life.
me again. That's right. We're going to lay some pipe. Oh. Yeah, she has put up with me. You know why? Because I'm real. Not fake like everybody else on the internet. Yeah, I can be a little crass because of the military, but I'm a God-fearing man. That's why I haven't told you to get out or run away or call you names or anything like that. I've said your opinion's welcome. If you're going to give it, you better be able to take it. That's all I'm saying. Throw out an insult. I'm going to try my best not to throw out an insult because I don't want to be that way. But if my demeanor is somehow insulting to you, that is a perceptual problem on your end, not mine. Okay? It's like when I walk into the grocery store or something like that and I see a lady and I say, I want to excuse myself when I'm going past them because I don't want to, if they're looking at a shelf, I say, pardon me, ma'am, and then I walk by. And then they turn around and yell at you because you call them ma'am. It's like, how do you know that's what I identify as? I said, well, you go off of basically what you see. And if you're not wearing like a name tag that flips out with all those freaking genders that you can claim, then how am I supposed to know what to call you? I mean, wear a freaking sign or something. Usually the only way I can tell is a septum and blue hair. You know, septum piercing. Which makes perfect sense. Your hero assault. Who's my hero? My hero is Jesus Christ. Who's yours? Do you think it's a man on this planet that might be my hero? Mm-mm. Ain't a man on this planet that's my hero. Your hero assaults women. See, now you're assuming my political affiliation, even though I'm wearing it. You're assuming who I voted for. You're assuming I follow a certain political person. You're assuming. And when you assume, it makes an ass out of you and me. And if you don't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, we could write it down and send it to you. You could buy a dictionary, perhaps, maybe at the SARS. Or just, you know, Common Sense for Dummies. They have it at Barnes and Nobles. So, I mean, it's just all really good information. My hero assaults women. That's rich. And you still haven't told me who my hero is. Or who you think my hero is. I'm waiting. What does that even mean? I mean, really? I mean, I know this is the attention you're after because that's why you're here. But the ones that like, what does that even mean? Your hero assaults women. That's what you stated. Captain Obvious, whatever the hell that was supposed to mean. The one that or the ones that like women. You're leaving me in the dark here. You're just putting out random words. I mean, you just got like, look, Ferrari, tree. I mean, what kind of conversation is this? I feel like I'm having a conversation with an AI that was developed on a freaking ColecoVision. Put some brain cells together and make a cohesive sentence. Or bring on one of your other troll friends. Someone who can translate for you or something. It's text. I don't know what the hell that even means. I'm looking at text, so if you're referring to what's on the screen, yeah, that's text. But that doesn't answer the question at all, and doesn't even refer to what you were talking about just a few seconds ago. Get on the same train, man. What the heck? This shit is funny, though. I love it. Keep it up. Come on, come on. Don't keep me waiting. You can type slow. It's fine. It's all right. Autocorrect sometimes messes you up, so be careful. I bet you were born after 2000. I'm going to bet that right now. I'm just hearing crickets here. I showed you what? Anybody else following along with this? I keep seeing just random words. What did we show you? What did I show you? No, who gives a shit? You're here. You're obviously interested. So back to your question. You said it's text. You showed me. What did I show you? Just curious. Because I don't remember. I haven't shown you anything yet, except maybe a drone. Like the drone? Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about like no one here like upstairs? I mean, you don't have to. I'm not asking you for your like mental state or anything like that. Just I want to know what you're talking about. You keep throwing stuff out there, and I know what this is. This is the attention that people want. Pull you out of a comment crowd. Focus on you. Keep asking questions. You throw little words out there. I keep talking to you. It's the attention you want. If this attention helps you, if it helps you to grow as a human, then I'll take your insults, whatever you want to do. If it makes you feel better because someone's talking to you, then I'm doing my job. Is that what this is? You're bored, nobody to hang out with, you feel like people didn't pay attention to you. I mean, if that's what you want, I'm here to help. You know, I'll talk to you all, even if it's insults. If that's all you want, I will help you out all day long. You want to insult me, go ahead, it ain't gonna matter. Because it doesn't bother me one bit. But if it is attention you seek, please, the floor is yours. Oh, I don't know how smart you'd consider me. I mean, I'm not that smart. No, I never claimed to be a genius. The BTK killer, I confess. I remind you of a killer? Okay, how so? How exactly? Actually insulted it wasn't the Zodiac. But move on. Carry on. Yes, thank you, my dear. So, carry on with this BTK killer. Okay, well, how does that how does that make you think I'm a killer? I mean, in the military I was, but not in civilian life. Mannerisms, inflection, and voice. So you're making assumptions. I see. How many people did he kill? I'm just curious. Observation. Hey, you just picking words out of the dictionary or something? What makes you think that I am this person outside of inflections and mannerisms? Because there are a lot of people who have similar inflections and similar mannerisms. You're gonna tell me so inflections and mannerisms. Do I look anything like him? Oh, yeah, he is telling on himself, but no, let him get it out. That's what it's about. I don't judge. You throw it this way, I'll throw it right back. But I don't judge. I mean, come on. I want to hear more about this BTK killer. Yeah, PXD, come on in. I spent a lot of time in the military. If you haven't been following along, so no, I didn't watch the news a lot because I was more or less part of it. You all remember shock and awe, right? And then shortly after, watching what happened to Saddam Hussein when they finally convicted him, we found his ass in a hole of all places. Gold gilded castles and homes and tons of cars and everything like that. And what does he do? He lights up the oil fields like a dumbass. Oh, the MPCNC, yes. That is going to be a more or less where I create my mold sections when I put together the SR-72 Dark Star body that I'm going to build for the two turbines. That's going to be how I develop my carbon fiber mold parts. So it's like a pink. I've never done it before. It was my first venture into it. So I've been studying what to use. It's like a pink foam board of some kind, and you mill it out, and then you coat it with something, smooth that down, sand it, make sure it's perfect. And then you start putting in the carbon fiber and the resin and so on and so forth, and you make your model body part according to that. And then I'll be using Fusion 360 basically to cam over the toolpath to cut out that foam piece for whatever section of the aircraft I'll be making. So that's what that's for. Just straight pipe tobacco. Just pipe tobacco. Oh my God! Here we go. I don't even know what that means. All right. Don't know for a second. I thought you were smoking straight gas. Straight gas? Is that like slang for something, or are you talking about fuel? Hey PXD, how you doing? We came in just to kind of kick back, chat, and just have some snacks. Try, and I even mentioned it during the short. I was like, "There's gonna be a live tonight. We're expecting trolls." We got one, but poor guy, he's all by himself. He wants more trolls. Wake up your family and crew and friends and invite them all in so they can troll too. Oh, gotcha. Sorry. Not good with you know, the acronyms. I do have the grasp, but uh, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I do have that. I don't do it very often because I do have a lot of pain left over from my service in the military, but um, I don't like how heady it makes me feel to have some when the doctor's like, "Yeah, have this. This will work." Because I don't like. I'm not taking opiates. Hell no. Staying far away from that stuff. But yeah, it kind of makes me heady. So I was like trying to find a gummy or something that'll work. for sleep and for pain, so on and so forth. And then let's see if it works where I can still work on fusion, and I'm not like trying to draw one sketch and then all of a sudden it's 7 o'clock. I started like at 10 a.m. And it's just I don't like losing time like that. Anti-conventional medicine as long as I am not like dying. Well, yeah, I see that. I understand that. I get you on that. Conventional medicine is well, I mean, it's run by pharmaceutical companies, and you have congressmen and everything like that, and buying stock in them, and they're the ones that are making the policies. So why cure something when you can make millions of dollars off of it, right? So whatever they give you is just more or less, oh, I feel a little bit better, but the disease is still there and always will be, even though they could cure pretty much everything. Discord full? Why Discord? Oh. Oh, gotcha. Mark, where'd you go, man? Did you leave? Did we scare off Mark? Did Mark bolt? Dang, I was hoping for more insults from Mark. Now I'm gonna be all lonely. He's still watching. He can't look away. He don't want to. Mark can't look away because I'm too damn sexy. And if he's from the other side of the aisle, you know what that means, right? I think Mark left. Sorry your trolling didn't work, Mark. I apologize. Monster is good. It is good. I was drinking Rockstars, but after a while, you get to the point where that flavor is just. You gotta change it up, You can only pickle your tongue so much. Where you're like, let's do it with something else. Favorite rocket fuel substitute. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to create a beautifully created natural rock garden within my kidneys. So that's what this is for. Evening, Buck. Welcome to the party. Please have a seat. Grab a snack. Relax. I'm fishing for trolls. I had one. He's off the hook now, I guess. I just wanted to relax and talk and say hi to everybody, see how they're doing, answer questions if they had any. Hi, all. Man, you guys showed up. Mark bailed. You just bailed. You have a question, Clay. Or CJ. Sorry, the baker. He did. What's your question? What? Wait. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold on. Just a second. You know what's funny? Having the analytical mind I had, I was like, could it be? I mean, it could be. I don't know. It depends on its application, I guess. I never done. CJ the Baker. You know what? You win the internet tonight. I mean, I've been blindsided by comments before, but that one. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. Man, he's an instrument. It depends. It depends. It really does. If your system is intolerant to it, you'll find out later on how musical how musical it can be. Oh yeah. If it works on your IBS, then yes, it's an instrument. Yes, it turns your body into an instrument. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's what I mean. I love it when people like say how they're. Okay, wait, no. Okay, I have a question. My kids have watched a YouTuber. I don't want to like get in trouble for mentioning her name because what's this? It starts with Sniper. Let's put it this way. I don't know if I'm allowed to say other people's like channel names and stuff like that, but I don't know if anybody's had the unfortunate privilege of watching a Darman video on accident. But she works with them. She works with him. First name Sniper. See, I didn't say it. Thank you for saying it. Yes, it would be SS Sniper Wolf, I guess. Okay. So I was thinking to myself, like, I was looking at the views on some of my videos, and I thought, most people must not be interested in a 170 millimeter 3D printed turbine engine. They want to watch a girl react to videos that you've probably already seen on the internet. And she is super famous, but why? Someone in chat, just spit it out. Tell me why she's so popular. Tell me why. It can't be because of entertainment value from what she's showing you. She's showing you videos you could find on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. But she's showing them to you and then reacting to them. So, evaluate her, yes. So, I want to know, I want to see it in chat. Why do people watch her? And silence fills the room. Actually, you know, I might have you edit some videos for me, because to be honest with you, when I'm running Fusion, I hate having to pull up Premiere Premiere Pro is usually what I use. I like it. I have a lot of money invested in some of their assets. So I have music and graphics and so on and so forth. Mainly, it's sort of like I could do the graphics myself and probably sell them on Adobe Stock. I didn't know that I could sell stuff on Adobe Stock, but I might get into that for some revenue, just because I want to put more towards the channel. But it's kind of like when you were young and you were wanting to build fast cars. You're like, you'd get under the car, you'd build it. You do everything you'd have to do, you know. Pull the engine out, pull the cylinder heads off, intake manifold, carburetor, disconnect everything, pull out the spark plugs, disconnect it, pull the cylinder heads and the intake manifold off the short block, take the short block apart, pull the camshaft out, after removing the rods, of course, and the lifters. And then, you know, you'd pop the cam out, and then you drop the lower end, pull off the rod cap ends, pop out each piston, then disconnect the crankshaft from the block, and then take down the Reddit rudders or something like that, and have them dip it in the caustic tank, steam clean it, put in new freeze plugs, paint the block, surface the deck, and then get yourself ready for a new rebuild. But now, you know, and of course you'd have to take cylinder heads in if you weren't going to do it yourself, and have the heads, you know, have the heads basically resurfaced, put in new valves or lap the valves that you have, drop in a set of roller rockers, or replace them with some aluminum Edelbrock heads and an Edelbrock intake manifold, or a 750C. I'm having carburetor with a ram air intake, something like that. Just, you love doing it as a kid. Then you top it off with a set of headers and some straight pipes that go back to a couple Flowmasters, and put some Mickey Thompson M5014s on the rear end, and hope to God that the police aren't nearby. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm to the age now, while I would drive something like that, I just do not want to take the time to freaking build it anymore. I just don't want to. I'd love to. You know, if I had the time and the money and the space for it, but if it was something that I was really adamant on, but I would just like to buy a fast car now or something, or a classic car, and just enjoy it. By using real world examples and showing these processes in the video. Oh, okay, well, that's a good idea. Yeah, Mark bailed, man. Mark realized he was helping my channel, not hurting it. I guess he couldn't get under my skin. Either that or he's lurking. I think he came in, he's like, you want to get 3 people watching. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't care if I had 1 person watching. I'm just kicking back, having fun at home. Downtime before I can order a motor. Found a good replacement too, PXD. The 75 volt. I'm gonna push it with 48. But that'll give me overhead on the heat. And it'll give me a lot more on the torque side, which will be good for the planetary. I'll be honest, this engine ran really well with the other planetary system when I drove from the front. Because I'm wearing in a new planetary gear system, I think it just puts some undue stress on the motor. But after disassembling the motor, I think I showed it on a short, or I recorded, I don't remember if I put it up yet. There's that wire that would usually plug into the controller on an electric skateboard, the Hall effects sensor wire, or motor telemetry, basically. I guess the engine got a little warm at one of the coils, and it melted, and it wasn't shielded. They didn't shield that wire all the way back, so it melted through that 5-wire bundle that goes to the Hall effect sensor, and it shorted out that coil. But when I took the engine apart and looked at the coils, I'm like, why are these coils touching each other? When you have different, you know, when you have a stator in the middle that has areas for windings, those wires shouldn't be all bulged out you know, like touching each other uneven and everything like that. And then what do? They backfill it with some resin so that to try and make it look like nothing's touching. Uh, but yeah, I know the wires are shielded, but you don't want, you know, a coil touching another coil. You need to be separate. So yeah, that motor had some defects in it from the get. I mean, from its manufacturing process, the coils weren't tight at all. They're very loosely wrapped coils. So that kind of showed me the build quality on that motor. Now I don't know if it was that just that one motor in particular, or if all Flip Sky motors are built this way. But I think if I were to show it to one of them, you know, people who make it, I would be, or you know, the manufacturer, they'd probably be walking up and down their assembly line, like chastising people, because now you're on the internet, and now people see the quality of your work. So who's going to want to buy the motor, right? But I am going to get one more of their motors, slightly bigger one, because I want to see if this is a standard, if this is their standard for building motors. Because it was disappointing. The motor shouldn't have gone out. I mean, come on. The 7070 I'm getting has got 60 horsepower. Okay, if that's not enough to spin a 4-to-1 gear ratio on a 170 millimeter fan, then there's something wrong with the way they're putting them together. 75 volts, 60 horsepower, 100 amps, 100 kV. Better work. Right now I'm using an iPhone. I wish I had like a GoPro or a better camera I could stream with. Or I don't know what camera or what's the best device to do a vertical live with. I'm assuming vertical lives were designed for the use on phones, but I don't know. No, this is a 15 Pro Max, I think. I don't know. Well, I'm not an Apple guy. It's just, you know, the wife was, so now I am. um, I'm partial to Android cameras. Type C cord. Yeah, it's Type C cord. But yeah, I would love to do longer videos, but I want to get like I have a camera I can put out. It's a 4K camera, not a real nice one, but it is a PC cam. But I would love to be able to stream from like a GoPro mounted on my head when I'm working on the ship or something like that, where it's just no sound, maybe some stock background music from my Adobe stock files, and then you guys can watch me work on the ship, that kind of thing. So eventually, that's where I'm going to go with it. But yeah, right now I'm kind of stuck with the whole phone for the camera. So, and man, I'm gonna have to like look and see how much battery power I've got left. Freaking lighter. Okay. But I was showing people that what I found in a box. So I may finish this little thing off, and I have an ELS receiver for it. So yeah, I was gonna 3D print some parts. I've got props for it that I found in another box. I don't know where this drone came from, so I was kind of in shock when I found it. It doesn't look like it's even been run. But I will plug it up to iNav and see what kind of board we're looking at here. Yeah, I might get this thing going just so if I have like if I want to practice acro, it's not going to cost me anything because I mean I found the drone, so I'm not sure what the amps on the ESC is. I'm not sure what the voltage rating is. I'm going to assume it's a 4S, something like that. Probably could tell by the motors, but oh yeah, I could totally see that. Freaking, give me a break. Hold on. Looks like we have. I don't know if that's the whole name. Let me look at another one. Something master or something motor, Z1 motor or something like that. It is a. Oh, it's Tornado. Sorry. 1407 4100 kV. That's probably 3S, 2S or 3S. What do you think? Well, let's see if we can find some information on the ESC and motherboard here. Motherboard, flight controller. Sorry. Talon F7 V2. This is a flight controller. And nothing looks burnt up. This looks like somebody didn't know how to solder. That's all, really. And now that I have an ELRS controller, I can probably use this thing. Gotta do some soldering of some wires that came loose, looks like. Anybody know about the Talon? Talon F7 version 2.0? It's got S-Bus, grounds. Can't read the rest of those. Oh wait. RX4. Oh, it's got at least 4 UARTs on it. It's got a ground TX, VTX, so we have video, so we can put video on it. What's the chip? Trying to read the chip. ARM STM 32F722RET6. Alright. So we know it's a Talon F7, so I'm gonna have to look that up now. We're gonna get this little drone working. Put some props on it, we'll have some fun. What is this? Cap. 330 UF. So we got a 330 microfarad, 35 volt cap. I have plenty of extras of those. But it doesn't look like this one's burnt. The ESC though, I'll look up this ESC. Well, actually I'll look up this whole kit because it looks like it comes together. Yeah, because it's got the same logo on the ESC. So that'll give me the voltage for the ESC with a 14, what did I say it was? But for 4100 kV, that's like 2S, isn't it? 2S or 3S? Oh, Mark, I missed you. You're apologizing for calling me a murderer? Now I'm sad. Why'd you pop? What do you? If you didn't care about being here, what'd you pop back in to apologize for? Because I was just getting nothing but insults before. Come on, man. Tell us what's going on. still lost to those guys. But it's fun. Well, tell us the story. We're all ears, man. Or eyes, technically. This is in chat. What story, man? Tell us a story. Come on, I want to hear it. You want to tell us a story? I want to hear a story. Type it out. Okay, well, what year was that? Now, what is 1990? Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured he was born after 2000 already. I already told him that up in the chat. I was like, I know you were born after the year 2000. I can tell. But you keep saying BTK. I'm gonna have to look that up because I don't know who the BTK killer is. I'm not sure what the acronyms stand for. It literally pops up on the screen and goes, your mannerisms. He accused me of being the BTK killer or reminding him of the guy. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing though. I've never been accused of being a murderer by anyone for very long. I love watching this. What? You're basing this whole thing off of me with what I might look like without a beard? I pray to God you don't become a detective. Yeah, show us a picture. Can you do that in chat? I'm not even sure. Come on, man. We're all wanting to know now. Dude, you're acting like I just like paid attention to all the stuff happening in the world, you know? It's like I don't know everything that's going on the planet. I didn't watch the news that much when I was a kid. And I certainly didn't care when I was in the middle of a war. So, explain. If you were arrested in 2005, why in the hell do you think I look like it? So I got accused of being somebody that's already in jail. Does it look like I'm in jail? Red on that 70 show. Is my doppelganger? Really?
She's right. He does.
Wait.
He looks like Red.
Holy crap, he does look like Red.
She nailed it.
Oh, yeah. I need to know who that guy was. He's like, BTK Killer. I'm like, who the fuck is that, man? And he was bald. Boy, I can grow my hair back now. That was funny, man. She showed me the picture just now, and I'm like, you see a guy with beard and glasses, and you automatically assume that you're a BTK Killer. I've got more hair than this guy does. I mean, my gosh. Twinkie time. You're saying back when Case... Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying when he was younger. Well, what year was he born? Like a hair transplant? The chair force? That's funny. You still never explained to me who my hero was supposed to be. Figure that one out yet? Oh, is that what he was saying? Trump's my hero? There isn't a man on this earth that's my hero. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. You can't believe all the hype. I mean, look at the social media. You can't look at social media and believe every single thing you see when most of the people on social media showing you the fake shit are 90% fake themselves. I'm serious. You know, watching like Nicki Minaj or Cardi B or whatever, I don't know which one's which, like talk for Kamala Harris and stuff like that. It's like, dude, that's ridiculous. We know what you're doing. We know exactly what you're doing. You're pandering to people to get votes. How'd that work out for you? Obama phone user. You know, those Obama phones were all for tracking people. You all gave away your positions on your meth labs when you showed up and said, "Look, I got a free phone." Oh, well, then burrito. Okay, so I'm curious. I looked at the picture of that guy, and he looked nothing like me. So, what mannerisms told you, Mark, that I was either a doppelganger for this guy, or I somehow reminded you of him? Is there First off, why are you even obsessed with somebody that was back in the 1990s? You weren't even born yet. I think he bailed again. No, he's there watching. Oh no, there he is. You remember the live footage? Okay. So if you remember the live footage, how did I get into this equation? Just curious. I mean, if you remember the live footage, that doesn't mean anything to me. You could be watching whatever the live footage was right now. It wouldn't be live, but it's still live footage. So you got to be a little bit more descriptive in that. Did you watch it live as it was happening and being filmed, or did you watch a recording of the live footage? Just a memory? Wow. Okay, so sit back and relax. I shall take some notes. Tell me about your childhood, Mark. Obsessive compulsive disorder. We have that, of course. Random disconjointed sentences. We have that. We have that. We'll have to work on that. Please, Mark, continue. Tell me about your childhood. We are waiting. Mark doesn't feel like talking anymore. Are you waiting for Mark to pop up? Come on, Mark, let's go! His session is up. Yes. I do charge by the hour, sometimes by the foot, but in this instance by the hour. So if you would be so kind, relax in your lounge chair in your mother's basement and tell me, why so many disconjointed sentences and no punctuation? What, are you a freaking ColecoVision? Process the question, man. Slava, okay, you know, what do you say to something like that? Someone busts in and be like, oh, yeah, Ukraine! Now, what are you supposed to say? I mean, it's a travesty what's happening over there, but I ain't paying for it. So, no. Oh, yeah. Look and feel sorry for you, Mark. Woo, man. You chose my mom. We already know where your standards are set. You thinking mom joke's gonna hurt me? I was like raised by no one. Mark, give me another one. Give me another one. Give me another one. Keep it rolling. This is some good shit. I'm telling you. Still no punctuation, Mark. I am very disappointed in you. Oh my gosh. My mom. Oh my gosh. I think I need more tobacco. This is entertaining. I love this. Mark, you are making it worthwhile tonight. I'm proud of you. See, you're taking steps. People like you. Oh, it's right here. You want me to teach? Do you see what I mean about the discatory comments? You gotta have ADHD, brother, and if you do, I feel you. Because you were like one subject to the other. I got the same thing, man. You can ask my wife, she'll tell you. Like, he'll be talking about something, and then all of a sudden, he'll be on a completely different subject. He'll know exactly where he's at, and he's already lost all of us. Yeah, he is, man. He is. He wants me to teach English. Yeah. Well, guess what? With this new administration, I don't even have to fucking press one anymore. Yeah, I know. You ever broke out with, like, my wife will tell you too. I would break out saying something out of the blue, and it's because I had half, if not most, of the conversation in my head. And she'll be like, "What? What are you talking about?" And in my head, I was telling her the whole time. I was like, in my head, I was like having the whole conversation with her, and I ended like, "What do you think?" She's like, "What are you talking about?" Right. Oh, look, a chicken. Oh, I think you meant to say Diddy, Jay. Diddy. Not his daddy. Diddy. You mother. Kid. Fuck it, let's get real. Yeah. That's why you heard all those explosions at night. And collapsed in all those tunnels. Hearing Diddy over that freaking police phone call. We gotta get rid of them pizza boxes. Sick motherfucker. I hope they cook his ass in the oil he kept buying. This is getting entertaining. I'm loving this chat. You guys gotta keep it up. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Yeah, so did Michael Jackson. Damn, man. Come on, Mark. We're waiting for another one. Come on, man. The life of the party tonight. Now we're talking about real estate. Okay. So your point. I mean, there's a donut shop next to the sheriff's department. Should we throw up a red flag? He's not a Trump lover. I can tell that. You know, I mean, that's obvious. He's a because he. I believe that's who he was accusing me of being my hero. I just think it's funny. Okay, yeah, we all know no one's ever going to get indicted on that list, and that the Dems will make sure of it. Because if everybody on that list was indicted, half of Los Angeles and every single Democrat would be in jail right now. I mean, shit. Look who's pissed at all the friggin' stolen money we're finding, and ain't anybody on the right. That tells you all you need to know. Oh yeah, here it comes. Here it comes. Everything's Trump's fault. Doge is fake, huh? Are you upset because you didn't get any of that Hezbollah condom money? Or is it the fact that we've deprived Afghani women of understanding modern art? They don't give a shit. They want food. No, all that shit was roundabout kickbacks to the Dems. Who goes into Congress making that salary comes out $63 million richer? I mean, give me a fucking break, dude. Oh, he's run the figures, it looks like. Please, tell us more. I complaining now, but you'll be the first in line to get that dividend check. I'll bet you that. Won't you, Mark? And don't lie. Trump's a real estate tycoon. He made his money through building business deals. The guy's a genius with business. That's why he runs the country so well. You notice we didn't have any wars when Trump was in office? And now we have a possible peace deal between Ukraine and Russia because of Trump? Yet he's a bad man. Has got your fucking wires crossed. You know, and I hope it doesn't, Mark. I know they said it. I hope the checks don't come. I hope they use that money to pay off all of the debt that has built up over the years from inflation, and then, of course, Biden coming in and freaking screwing the shit up out of everything. And then cackling Kamala coming by. She didn't even go down. She didn't even get her ass down to the border. What? How long into the administration did it take her to get there? I mean, in this country we have freedom of speech, so I'll just straight up tell you. Biden, Kamala, biggest dumbasses on the fucking planet. I mean, then Trump gets into office 1 month in, they're like, eggs are still expensive. Well, it takes a while to put out a freaking dumpster fire that big. The Biden and Harris dumpster fire. It's the people who are against Trump and get the math wrong. Like that one fool who said, they spent $500 million on ads. They could have given every person in America $1 million and had money left over. They obviously don't know how to do math. Everybody get like $1.50 tops if they split that $500 million with every American. Matter of fact, in order to give everybody in America $1 million, it would take well over 300 trillion. Not as much as the Democrats, Mark. Not as much as the Democrats. Matter of fact, we found a lot of corruption, like we've noticed. I know you think the figures are fraudulent, but the one thing I've noticed when discussing these particular talking points with people who are adamant that they are right is that no matter what evidence you put in front of you, they still will believe that they are right because they cannot stand being wrong. And that, my friend Mark, is the bill you fit exactly. You are not going to be wrong. Orange man bad, right? Well, we can agree to disagree. You are a human being. You are entitled to your opinion. But just like everybody else out there who wants to identify as a fucking desk lamp, I don't have to figure out how to turn your switch off and on. Okay? I'm not going to play pretend with you. You're an adult. Yeah, let's not forget that I was called a serial killer that apparently was arrested in 2005 and it happened during the 90s. You guys are great. Surplus at the end of the last Clinton administration. Please show me the paperwork. And then show me the source of the paperwork. And then show me who runs the source of that said paperwork that shows a surplus. Mark, we've always had debt. As long as I've been alive, we've had debt. Oh, Google it. I was alive before fucking Google. I was alive before the internet, okay? Get off the Google it bullshit train. Anybody can get on Wikipedia and put any kind of nonsensical bullshit with no backing on there. And everybody reads it as scripture. And they like believe it. It's like, God. I could put on Wikipedia that they started selling T-Rexes at Tesla, and your asses would be down there in a heartbeat trying to get one. Good. Good for you. Can I ask you something, Mark? Has your Social Security or Medicare been affected by Doge? And if so, show me proof of it. You guys are great. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's not. The Social Security benefits are fine. SNAP, any kind of federal or state level care for people in need, all of that's fine. Hasn't been touched yet. Won't be touched. I don't know where you're getting your information. McCain, piece of shit. Well, he can't get blocked by anybody now, can he? Because we have the office, the House, and the Senate. We own this country now. Yeah, and the Supreme Court. But I enjoy the debate, Mark. I do. I really do. It's coming. You hear that all the time when it never shows up, huh? I'll tell you what. We'll agree to disagree on all of this. And you keep tabs on the channel, jump in on the lives, and as the future progresses and things change, we'll see who's right. And if you were right in the least, I will acknowledge that. I'm not above being wrong if I am wrong. And I'll admit to it. But you gotta bring me evidence that isn't hearsay that you heard on social media or heard by the news, who all squawk the same line of bullshit any time that their handlers pass the notes, okay? And if you can't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. When the media is all barking the exact same line of bullshit, you can pretty much guarantee it's bullshit. The owners. I love that. The owners of the country. Do you know we are the owners of the country? You know that, right? We are. Yes, there's some elites up there who think they own it, but there's too many of us, and the reason why they want to get rid of guns so badly is they know that if they want to try and take us over, they have to do it while we're unarmed. Because if this country ever came against us, If this government ever came against us because they wanted to somehow take over control and put us in those 15-minute cities that they keep talking about, they'd have to get past the guns first. Okay? And that's not going to happen. Because we were too well trained, us in the military and in the civilian life, we know what to look for. And we know how to fight. I'm Delta Company, 347th Infantry Regiment, Sand Hill. That's where I trained. Okay? I don't even have to have a gun to defend myself. And I've proven that to the people who trespass on my property across the street so many times. Lord rest their souls. You think you know the way it's going down, but you don't. I hope you have God in your life, Mark. I really do. Because you need Him. I hope you do. I hope you know Christ. I already know what's about to transpire. You don't believe? In what? Can you be a little bit more elaborate? Are you talking about God? You don't believe in God? Well, answer the question. You an atheist? You think this whole universe just went out of nowhere? And even if it did, where was it before? What was it before? You have no idea because you haven't studied it. You haven't studied it at all. You think we just burst into existence and then millions of years passed and then we evolved and so on and so forth and this and that and the other. And it's a crock of crap. You can't create something from nothing. The universe didn't create itself. It was created by the will of our Creator. And you're going to tell me with all the chaos out in this universe, on planets, around stars, quasars, black holes, the whole galaxies colliding, and we're the only ones that have a stable planet to live on with everything that we could need? Yeah. He don't believe. That's fine. He doesn't believe. You're going to find out if you don't. I encourage you, if you are a person who is open to information, then I would read the scripture. I would read a King James version of the Bible. Oldest one you can find. One that hasn't been altered. Oldest one. You'll find your answers there. There's only one way to God, and that's through Christ. And if you can't find Him, I'm sorry. When you get there, He's going to say, I don't know you. And you're going to a different place. And it's not into nothingness. Trust me. I love it when atheists say that. We were from nothing, and then we'll go back to nothing. And so you're going to go back to where you came from? Is that what you're telling me? Dead for 9 minutes. That wasn't even long enough for your brain to fully die. So you weren't dead. You were in probably a state of coma. Your heart may have stopped for 9 minutes, but your brain didn't die. And I know the truth. I know the truth. I know the truth because I have died a few times. for a lot longer than you were. And I can also tell you that my grandmother was a very devout Christian. And she told me some things that I won't get into now because you'll just write them off. You're not going to believe me one way or the other, so why tell you? But I can tell you, I've seen the future, tried to stop it no matter what happened, it still happened. Like they teach, like who teaches? You died twice, and the second one was like who teaches? Who teaches what? You be more specific. Who's they? Everybody says they. They say they when they don't have someone to. Like unplugging a TV. Okay, that's just another vague statement. I need a little bit more than that. You just think it goes dark? Is that what it is? You weren't dead at 9 minutes. So you said you died twice. Are you saying you died twice and the second time was like the spiritual belief that they teach? What spiritual belief? What did you see? Tell me what you saw when you were dead. Yeah, I know. I gotta put butane in. It's not that. The damn thing doesn't want to click when it's. I mean, it doesn't. Half the time it works. Hold on a second. I gotta check battery life. Oh, we're good so far, but let's get this plugged in so I can give it some life. I have a little bit of life. There we go. Oh man, it's gonna die on me. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Hold on, now I got to turn this back on so I can read the chat. Okay, here we go. That's called being unconscious. Mark, just so you know. You weren't dead, you were unconscious. And if you remember the blackness and the silence, then guess what? There was a conscious part of you that observed it. And if you were unconscious and your brain was out, but you still remember it, then what recorded the memory? Your soul, perhaps? Remembered it? Observed it? So you fractured your skull twice. That explains some things. Heart failure once after heart surgery. Cardiac arrest. You had kind of a string of bad luck. With as entertaining as this conversation has been, I can tell you that I am sorry you've had to endure all that. Yeah. How exactly did you fracture your skull twice? Big deal done. That's a little bit vague, but okay. I'm reading all the chat. Someone helped you with the first one. With the fractured skull? So, like, you got in a fight or something? Can't imagine why. Oh, this is becoming very interesting. Please elaborate. PhD. Uh. Well, how old were you when this happened? When you fractured your skull the first and second time? Or was there years between them? Or was this because you're older? Hey, Mark, you're going to have to be a little bit more specific, my friend. Um, you remember my question. So, what does years mean? It happened years ago? It happened recently because of years? Or your years? Or, I mean, elaborate a little bit. No, years. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the years part. I mean, I need some more information. Buck. Buck with the ever so gentle slap to the face. So this happened over 20 years ago. Okay. See, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So we know the second time you slipped and fell on concrete. So what happened the first time? Ah, so you lost. Okay. A fight. Well, what was the fight over? Come on, it's getting interesting. Let's hear about it. Was it a woman? Was it just a disagreement? Was it a simple thing? Was it just people being asses and jumping you? Or what was it? Come on. You owed the money? I mean, what was it for? There's got to be a good reason for a fight like that. Especially if you get cracked over the skull. You fought a group. Last one. but I asked you what it was over. Like, what was the fight over? Yeah, we're getting there. Show and tell time. Okay, you got jumped. Gotcha. Okay, because you were in the wrong, I'm assuming, place. Right, exactly. Just like you said. Um, okay. Well, that makes sense. So, how many did you take out before you got cracked over the skull? Did you at least get a few good hits in? Or was it a surprise attack kind of thing? Were you trying to escape Diddy's mansion? Oh, I'm sorry. You said you were 66. Were you trying to escape Michael Jackson's mansion? So we got wrong place, jumped, cracked skull. Second one was concrete. How far apart were they again? Did you get cracked the first time, and then the second time when you hit the ground it cracked again? I don't know. Could have been the same fight. We don't know. Yeah, that happens. See, nowadays it's different. They go out and assert themselves in a way where, because they're carrying guns, illegal guns, things like that. I believe in the right to self-defense as per the Second Amendment. And so if somebody's, nowadays, you got to worry about everybody having a gun. So anytime someone's on my property, I just flashbang them. They got you from the front and the back of the head? They hit you on the back, you fell, and then they hit you again, I'm assuming? Or they hit you from the front and then you hit the concrete. Or something, I don't know. Different times, gotcha. So the first one was a hoodlums, the second one was a slip, it sounds like. What'd you do for a living, Mark? I'm just curious. Oh yeah, I've slipped a lot in my garage, I'll tell you that. Ooh. I didn't even know I could do the splits. Profession time though. What'd you do for a living? I assume you're retired or close to it. Excuse me. I'm gonna abuse my body and have another Twinkie. Because I can. Because my blood sugar gets too low. No, I don't have any diabetes or anything like that, obviously. Had low blood sugar my entire life. So I can pretty much eat whatever I want. Come on, man, what'd you do for a living? Oh, real estate worker. Sorry, I just saw it. For flippers. Um, I assume Flippers is the name of the agency, or you did real estate work because you needed a pair of flippers. Hmm. Construction. Gotcha. Yep. I work for a flooring company. I remember having to scrape up a whole bunch of stuff, man. Having to do it by hand, the asbestos tiles and stuff like that. Resurfacing and then getting ready for new flooring. Having to do that stuff in 112-degree weather. Didn't have a car at the time, so I'd get up 3:30 in the morning, had to be out the door by 4, rode my bike all the way across town, worked for 12 hours in that kind of heat, and then had to ride my bike all the way home. I remember demo. Everyone thinks demo is fun, and they realize I got to clean it up. So did you do anything after that? I assume you had a career outside of that. That sounds like a young man's work, so I'm going to assume you moved on to something a little bit more lucrative. If I'm looking at the chat too long, I apologize. I'm trying to keep up. Now, you want to know what a worse job is? Being in the desert in the middle of a war and knowing what a human body cooking smells like. Reminds me of ribs. Just some sweet ribs. Book of Mark. PXD, come on. He came in as a troll and he's kind of opening up. We gotta respect that. Takes a lot to stick around and do that. Even though he don't like my political views, we're having a conversation. And that's the kind of thing that we need to be able to do in this country. Regardless of what side of the aisle we sit, is to have conversations because we all live here. Okay? Except the ones that are going to get deported. Sorry, I don't want to have a conversation with you. You're over the wall. No, we don't. We don't what? Because you're having a fairly long conversation with somebody who you're saying you're not jiving with here. So I'm interested. I really am. You have an interesting story, Mark. You do. Because it sounds inherently like that you're a good person. You just don't like politically who I am.
I wasn't finished.
See, told you the charger was going to give. So it just that's what it sounds like to me, is that you don't. That's why you either don't like me or don't agree with me, is because of what you believe my political affiliation is. Come on, Mark. I know you got it in you. Let's go. Let's go. I know you got it in you. Spit it out. You sound like a good man that's been through some stuff, but you are on the wrong side of history. I promise you that. You're also on the wrong side of religion. And just because you're a decent man and some people have a beautiful voice doesn't mean they're going to heaven. Because I can tell you right now, hell's going to be full of beautiful voices. That's a DPC quote you can take to the bank. You don't want heaven, so you don't want eternal bliss, and you don't want a new body because you've had enough of this life. That doesn't make much sense. So if you took time to be objective about the situation and read the Bible and try to understand it, you realize that there's nothing in the commandments or anything like that that would somehow deter you from doing some of the stuff that you want to do in your life, unless you're an evil-minded person. If you are inherently evil or want to do evil, then yeah, I can see how the Bible would make you upset. If you don't want accountability for your actions, I can see how the Bible would make you upset. Just ask anyone who is in Planned Parenthood. What do you mean I gotta walk in others' boots? I don't. What is that referring to as far as the conversation is concerned? I've walked in others' shoes. Okay? I went to war. I got injured. Came home. Became an addict because of it. Put myself in a clinic and got off the shit. And I have been clean for years. And God was the foundation of my faith. The belief in Christ. That's what saved me. And then He gave me a beautiful wife and beautiful children. And something to keep going, even though my body had to relearn how to feel everything. And I had to pay back all of that good I stole with that stupid pills with a whole bunch of bad. Okay? So don't act like I haven't walked in somebody else's shoes. Because I've been the addict. I've been the dead. And now I'm the living. And because of who I believe in, I will forever be the living. Walk in other people's boots. You think just because you're 66 years old that you're going to see more than I'm going to? You think because you don't believe in God and the lights shut off, you don't have to be accountable for actions, thoughts, or desires? It sounds to me like somebody who doesn't want to be accountable. So it's easier to not believe, to call it a fairy tale, for the simple reason that you don't want to be accountable. You believe more in what your flesh desires than what your soul does. And it makes you empty. And that's why you call yourself an atheist. Because every atheist is an empty person. You will never convince me of atheism, ever. I have literally experienced seeing the future. This future that was told to my grandmother by God And we did everything we did to stop it. And it still happened. We'll get into that story some other time. Because you're just going to call it whatever, voodoo, witchcraft, whatever label you're going to stick on it. Again, you're not going to believe me. You're not going to believe in God. You don't want to. You want to know why? Because whoever the devil's assigned to you has got you exactly where he wants you. And the only way out of that is to invoke the name of Christ. That's your only hope. Okay? So if you don't think hell's real and you keep on this path, you're going to find out how real it is. Life isn't empty and meaningless. It's only you just told yourself, man. You just told on yourself. I'm an atheist. Life is empty and meaningless. Give me a break. Give me a break. Come on, don't be full of shit, man. You know it's not full of emptiness. That's only something an atheist would believe. Yeah, well, the Catholics probably aren't going to make it either. I'll tell you that right now. Catholic school. You think you went to Catholic school so you know? Oh, I'm not going to believe in this because I went to Catholic school. The only way to the Father is through Christ. Bottom line. And to be honest, it's Samaritan purse. That's a good one. You think it's a scam, huh? Well, then I pray, Mark, that God shows you that it isn't a scam. And in his way, he will show you it isn't a scam. I just pray for your soul that it isn't too late when you find out. You want to know why, Mark? Because you're another human being. You are entitled to salvation like every human being. Okay, maybe not free health care and money for jumping over a wall, but you are entitled to salvation. And hell, I might lose viewers on this channel just because of my political or religious beliefs, but you know what? Fine. I don't need that kind of audience following me. I really don't. I'd like to witness to you and tell you how much it's changed my life, but that's not going to matter to you because it hasn't changed yours. You haven't let it. You have to surrender to God. And that doesn't mean you have to stop everything you're doing, because God is a just God and forgives. Once your heart believes, once you believe here that Christ is your Savior, then those sins can be absolved completely. And if you stay that way in your heart, even if you slip, God understands that you're human and you will make those mistakes. But that's what he died for, was for those mistakes. He knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. That's how much Christ knows you. It doesn't matter if you don't believe it or not, because he's waiting for you. He's waiting for you to open your eyes and your heart and accept him. Because what's your alternative? The darkness that an atheist believes in? Because it isn't darkness. I guarantee you that. I feel sorry for people like that. I really do. I pity them because they're stuck in this system of belief where the only thing that they see is following the Bible, following Christ means I can't do what I want. No, it doesn't mean you can't do what you want. It means you can't do the things you want that are influenced by the evil of the world. Because the world is now corrupt because of sin. What is an end? I don't. You're saying yes, it's an end. I don't. You don't what? There's 11 of us in here and Mark. Now, regardless of what Mark believes in, he's still a human being. He's entitled to salvation. He's entitled to respect. And he's entitled to his opinion. If what I say doesn't get through to him, if he doesn't decide I'm going to go look into this and see if there's something more, then I've done my part to try and bring it to him. So I feel good about that. I feel good about that because I'm doing what my God wants me to do. And that's a witness to others. But sometimes there's just no convincing people. And you may do your best. So you want to have an eternal life? Is that what you're saying? Oh, you don't want to have an eternal life. Okay, I understand. I think you probably misunderstand what this eternal life is. And this is why I say you have to turn to the Bible to understand that. Because you're thinking of this eternal life as the eternal life that you're living now continues on. And that's not what it is. The pain and the suffering of this world was brought on by sin. Sin and the desire of man's flesh. Period. Greed. All brought on by that. Sin. The eternal life I'm referring to is one where there is no pain and there is no suffering. That's just the way there is. And that's for eternity. Now, what risk would someone take by denying that? Because if I'm right, according to you, since you don't believe me, if I'm right, let's start over. If you're right, I've lost nothing. I know you're not right, but if you're right, I've lost nothing by not being an atheist. My life is still fulfilled. But if I'm right, you're screwed. And I happen to know that I am right. Mark, you don't seem to understand that your soul is just as important to God as anybody else's on this planet. That's why he's an omnipresent God, omnipotent God. He can be with all of us at the same exact moment and live and talk to us and be with us to speak to. He can be around you and everybody on this planet simultaneously. Do you want to know why? Because he's not bound by the time which he has created. Okay, what is time? It's a measured portion of eternity. As simple as that. It begins and it ends. And when it does end, then eternity persists. And eternity is in itself its own explanation. So ultimately, the choice is yours. I saw something today that made me think because it shows a man, it was like a reel, it shows a man dying and going to hell, and the devil being very, very excited that he's there. He goes, well, why am I here? I didn't believe in God. I'm an atheist. And why are you treating me so well to invite me in to hell? And he said, because you did something that we couldn't do. Because even the demons believe in God. So mankind went to hell and they accepted him graciously because he did something even Satan couldn't do, and that was not believe in God. It's SB. Yes. We got another one. I'm guessing he's not a Christian. Interesting comment, though. How long did it take you to think up that jewel? Or did you get it out of a fortune cookie? My channel is not just about flying drones, it's about building engines and planes and flying both and building different things. Mainly about turbines lately, but it's definitely about drones and airplanes and everything else. Pretty much anything RC related. You're going to donate yours. Well, Mark, I wish you the best. I really do. For someone who came in here just to kind of tail me off because I'm supposedly a Trump supporter, and according to you, because I never stated it. But I'm a Republican. Country was founded as a republic. Trump is doing well for the nation. That's not going to change. That's the thing about being an atheist, right? I mean, your reality isn't going to change just because of the way you believe. As an atheist. Because you think it all just begins from nothing, it just ends. So, more power to you, man. Good on you. Trump is doing awesome. He's going to stop this war. And Biden didn't even try. He just wanted to keep continuing to fight a proxy war through Ukraine against Russia. That's all he wanted to do. There was too much money to come back. Too much money to kick back. Remember how much they held for the big guy? Fuck. White House, most secure building probably in the entire nation, and they couldn't figure out where the cocaine came from. Sounds a bit odd to me. And then when they went back to find it, they couldn't find it. And then Hunter was like fighting off crack demons on the freaking balcony of the White House. Hebrews calling me. That one got me. That one got me. Yep, Hebrews. As a matter of fact, I am the one that brews. I brew the coffee for my wife every single morning. Make it just how she likes it. Sometimes I mess it up though. And I don't tell her if an ant got into there. I just leave that alone and just bring her a nice tasting cup of coffee. I was kidding. I didn't put no ants made it in your coffee. No, but I make her coffee every morning. I've never in my life, see, this is my first marriage. And now I'm 16 years in. And I've never had a better friend. I literally married a best friend. And I feel extremely lucky for that. And we still joke around. I mean, it's like I can imagine when we hit 66 and we're falling down and cracking our skulls, that we're probably just going to laugh it off. We'd be like, you fell first. No, you fell. You called me a fell. And now I'm going to try and get up and probably blow a wet fart. And then we're both going to keep laughing. You know? That's how it is, man. That's how it is. I'm telling you. I've enjoyed marriage. I've enjoyed marriage. Everyone keeps saying they have these memes about how marriage is this and marriage is that, and it's horrible. And it usually doesn't last very long nowadays. I wonder why. But it's been the best experience of my life. I wouldn't have survived if God hadn't given me this woman. That's all there is to it. I wouldn't have survived this world. As strong as I thought I was, I wouldn't have survived it. And anybody who's ever had to deal with addiction knows exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly. Yep. Your coffee comes in a jar as a powder. You're a brave man, Jay. You are. You talking like the old Folgers instant coffee? Man, you can drink coffee and strip paint off a car. I mean, that stuff is great. It's also great for it's also wonderful for doing Damascus steel. It really blackens it. Oh, man. Well, those upper back vertebrae, it's like to lock into place and say, guess what? You're going to Painland. Hills Brothers Instant Cappuccino and Starbucks Instant. Starbucks has an instant coffee? Yeah, me too, man. Dollar store. Tell you what's really good, that Fog Chaser. That Fog Chaser coffee, man. Woo! That's some good stuff right there. But I drink my coffee strong because I've been drinking it since I can remember, probably 10, 11, 12. When I started somewhere around there. About the time I started driving. Yeah, I've been drinking coffee forever. It's got to be strong. When I drink my coffee, it is strong. If a normal person drinks coffee, and Starbucks ain't got nothing on my coffee. I don't care if it's a quad and they add 4 shots. It still ain't strong enough for me. I think he's hanging back and watching. that's fine. Just let him. I've told him what I wanted to tell him. If he doesn't follow my advice or even take a look, it's not on me. I've done my part. I've done what my Lord commanded me to do. I want to make the most bitter coffee company, so if people start drinking coffee, I can recommend it and save them. He does. He does. And you'll never see it coming either. He will use the strangest situations to bring his children home. That's what God does. I mean, people look at me and they think your first thought is, don't get caught in an alley with that guy or something like that. But they don't realize that I try to help out people around the neighborhood, giving them work to do, giving them money if I got it in my pocket, even if I can't afford it. Just because if it puts a smile on their face, someone homeless, someone that needs a pack of smokes or something to drink or something like that, because it's his only, escape from his reality, having to live on the streets or whatever. I mean, I give to who I can, and I can't afford to, but I do it because if you've done what you've done to the least of these, you've done to me, and that's what Christ said, basically. Do unto others, so on and so forth. I don't expect anything in return. These people are homeless and don't have any money, but if I can bring a smile to their face, if I can give them a little something, to just break them away a little bit from whatever may be plaguing them that day, or give them a little bit of relief from how they're going to eat something next. Just even if it's just a moment of taking away some worry, just a little bit of worry, then I've done what I've been commanded to do. And I wish I could do more. I wish I was a rich man. I would do more. But I can only do with what I have, which is why we have to wait about a week and a half for me to get another motor so we can spin up this turbine again. It's going to cost me, I think, $118 with tax, somewhere around there. 119 to get the motor. But higher voltage motor, it can handle 75 volts. I'm pushing 40 through it with 150 amp ESC. So I think and it's roughly the same bolt pattern. So I think it's going to give us a fairly rigid motor to work with. I am going to have to redesign the mount ever so slightly in order to support its weight within the center of the engine. But, so I'm going to need, I think my brother will buy me some filament. I'm on vet benefits. What am I going to say? What can I say? We all know that, right? So I have to pay bills first. The rent keeps going up every year, ever since the pandemic started. And the inflation started getting out of control. Rent pretty much takes up almost my entire vet benefits. And the rest is luck. Either my brother or something helps out, or somebody else helps out, and I can eat, But I provide for the family first. Keep myself fed and healthy enough to keep them going. I mean, it's not like look at me. I'm 6'4" and 300 pounds, right? I'm not suffering, okay? And I don't even work out, but for some reason I've got muscles. I don't know where they came from. I think it's my old military training, I guess. I just built thick, I guess. Oh yeah, good point. Good point. It is God. Check the battery on the phone real quick. Since the charger quit. Oh, we got a little bit of time left. Well, basically, this has just been a live to kind of just, kick it and relax and talk and stuff like that. I hope I got a little, I honestly hope, I'm very hopeful that that Mark considers some of the things I told him. I do. Because it doesn't matter what he believes, where he came from, what he's done. He's still a human being and is entitled to salvation like every human. So, that being said, regardless of whether he came in trolling, calling me this, calling me that, and I kind of shot it back at him, I respect his humanity. It doesn't matter how many people hate me. I'm never going to hate you back. So, if there's a troll out there who wants to troll me, troll away. I'm never going to hate you back. I don't laugh it off. That's what I'm going to do. Because that's what it's about. I built this community in a sense to kind of bring people together through the hobby of drones and FPV, which I haven't done much of, which I'm planning on doing now that I found this thing laying around. And I'm trying to build a community where it's not just about the hobby, but it's about the people. It's like, it's showing people that we can all get together and be civil. We can have conversation. We can debate things, but we can do it respectfully and we can do it civil. And we can be civil about our debates. And, but we also have the right to defend ourselves from any kind of verbal abuse or anything like that. Yeah, you can verbally abuse me all you want. I don't care. I've been through it. Okay? I've been through the ringer. So words don't really hurt me. They don't. Viewer count does. So I'm trying to get it out there, And one of the main reasons is to monetize this channel for the purpose of continuing to bring people this channel. So when you have to take that into consideration. I'm not going to be using any money to live off of. If I make $20 in revenue eventually or something like that, it's going to go on another roll of filament so I can keep going. Things like that. Because my income's pretty much locked down to care for my children. Everything in my shop was either given to me or loaned to me, or this is how it is. And or my viewers have contributed, and I've used that to buy filament or buy a motor or buy a plane body, like the turbo glider. That was awful. I needed a bigger wingspan for that thing. Yeah, and the big beautiful lawn dart, which was used to be a nice plane, but now it's not. No, but what I really want, what I really want, is that Fox 3,000 millimeter powered glider from FMS. That is a bad ass glider. I'm telling you, it is so beautiful the way it flies. Damn thing just whistles through the air. I'm glad it's been one of the best. I'm glad it made everyone happy. I'm glad that's what it was all about, because I thought I don't have a lot of content to show everyone right now because I'm going to be waiting for parts. So it's like, and I know I probably post more frequently than most. But to me, if I'm not posting something at least once a day, I'm just like slacking. You know what I mean? So it's like, so if I get up tomorrow and I have nothing to post and I say, I'm kind of curious on, like, if I live streamed a Twinkie on my desk with my computer and I just left the Twinkie there underneath the light, I wonder how many people would watch it. Just Let's see hearts for a 24-hour Twinkie live stream. Come on. Who's I want to see hearts just fill the screen right now for if they're gonna. Here they come. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna have to save one of you guys. I will set up a little diorama, the whole 9 yards, and I will put a little light under it. And I'm gonna leave it in the wrapper because ants. But we're gonna do a 24-hour Hostess Twinkie live stream. Okay. Because these things are impervious to like nuclear radiation. And this one I got from Hiroshima. I'm kidding. But yeah, we're gonna do it just for the heck of it, just to see how many viewers we get. The 24-hour Hostess Twinkie live stream, not affiliated with Hostess, of course, in any way, but it's just the name of the Twinkie. So I had to say Hostess Twinkie live stream. So that's what we're gonna do: a Hostess Twinkie live stream. Not tonight, but it'll be on my computer. That way I have the 4K camera on it, and it's on there every day. The dog's probably going to eat it sometime during the evening. Like, after we go to sleep, he's going to wait. Okay? Because that husky is going to... That'll be the cool part, because then you can all report back to me the next morning when the dog stole the Twinkie. I'm kind of hoping he won't, but I'll set up a space, and we're gonna do a 24-hour Twinkie live stream, where you're just staring at a Twinkie. You're going to listen to some music, some relaxing music. I have a lot of Adobe assets, so I'll get some nice, relaxing music downloaded. And then I'll put together a track for it. And you guys will be able to sleep knowing that your company is a Twinkie. Leave that Twinkie up all night long. And you go, you know what? I'm going to sleep. And this Twinkie is going to watch me sleep. The Twinkie is going to watch you. It's going to watch over you and protect you from the monsters in your closet or under your bed. It's going to be your favorite stuffed animal. It's like literally stuffed. It's got cream in it. So, yes. I guess we're doing a Twinkie live stream soon. So, yeah. Okay, it's settled. The viewers have spoken. The Hostess Twinkie shall adorn you for a 24-hour period. I just got to get it all set up, so I'll let you know when it goes. I'll put a short out when I'm going to say it. And half of you are going to know what I'm saying. The other half are going to be confused when it comes across their For You page. And I'm going to say, okay, Twinkie stream live at, and then I'm going to give you a date and time, and then you're going to watch a Twinkie for 24 hours. So I'll probably set it up in the shop. I'll have to get the laptop set up, bring the camera out, put my streaming software on it, and then we'll get it set up, and you guys can... I'll even put it, like, on the turbine. I'll just put it right on the blades. Like, the Hostess... It'll be the star of the show, the Hostess Twinkie. I grew up with these things. I grew up with them. They're like... Hold on, I'm going to eat this one. So let me see what I got left here. We got plenty here for the live stream. Okay. Yes. I wonder if that's ever been done before. Do you guys want jazz? Some lo-fi and some jazz. Okay. So we got lo-fi, we got jazz. Tom McDonald. I'm trying to let people sleep and watch the Twinkie, not be woken up abruptly. Oh my gosh. If I could just shake the hand of the creator of this, I'm telling you. You make music? What kind of music you make? Maybe we can do a collab when we set it up. That way, both get some credit for it. If you have some tracks you want to discuss with me, just email me on the channel page. We'll talk about it. Shameless plug, nothing. If you got music and you're making it, and you want to get some viewers out of it or whatever, we'll link you down in the description. Say who made the music, point towards the channel, help each other out. That'd be cool. You mean to leave a Twinkie out and just work while you're watching the Twinkie? Well, I mean, I'm not gonna play rap. I was thinking more of a relaxing kind of genre of music, something worthy of sleep, or relaxation. It's like, I mean, because how well would that go, if that kind of got out there? It's like, dude, someone's live streaming a Twinkie just sitting there, and that's genius. It's genius. I mean, if people can listen to a Biden speech for 30 minutes, they can watch a Twinkie for 24 hours. Right? I'm sorry if I keep looking at the pad over here. I'm trying to keep my eyes on you guys, but it's just it's how I have it set up. I'm recording with a phone. When I'm on the cam, I can usually read the screen, and then I'm right there. So I'm looking at the screen while I'm talking to you, so it's easier to see my face. But yeah, that's the thing. Oh, holy crap. Is it 9 o'clock already? Good Lord. A whole album. Dude, yes. You make a Twinkie rap, I'm putting it on there. I am putting it on there. I'm going to go. Look, this is CJ the Baker, man. Freaking ripping it with the Twinkie. All right? Just spitting it out in the mic with the Twinkie. You know what I mean? And then the microphone has to look like a Twinkie. We'll do a video. Right? I'm serious. I'm serious, man. We'll take on the whole East Coast with this Twinkie rap. I'm not even joking. The only rapper riding a drone through the sky, rapping into a Twinkie. Yeah, it's about 9, guys. It's time for me to kill it because, I'm old. So, no, I have to get my kids ready for bed and everything. They take forever to get to bed. So, yeah, it's a chore. I love them, though. I give them time to do what they want to do, watch their videos and stuff like that, and draw their pictures. And if I've angered them with this, I'm probably going to regret it later. But that's okay. And there's my alarm. Because I have to go take my medication, I couldn't understand why they put me on cholesterol medication when it wasn't even, was it 102? I think it was. So whatever. They're like, we think your blood pressure being higher was because of stress brought on by the tinnitus from the war. So I don't know. They checked everything else out. All my organs are fine. All my arteries were clear. Like, it's stress. So they put me on 3 clonazepam a day. I don't even feel that. So it must be stress. But I don't feel stressed. And they said, well, it just manifests in different ways. Like, so you're telling me the thing I don't feel a condition for is causing a condition that shouldn't be there in the first place. So how do you take that stress out of your life? Well, you do stuff like this because this relaxes me. It's fun. It's something I do. hang out with my family, play some video games with them, or watch a Disney movie. No, forget Disney. Disney you can't watch anymore. It's way too left. Um, it just doesn't make any sense anymore. Anyway, the point is, just try to relax and enjoy life and be stress free. That's the whole point. So I'll take a quick once over of the shop before we end everything because I'm sure my battery's going to die. We did have a little sproutling come up over here. I can't see it now because we watered it and probably drowned it. Let's see. Anything else? No, we're getting there. Okay. We are going to fly that soon. I keep telling you that. I'm only telling you that again because it's a fact. Eventually, we're going to fly it. But for the most part, this is the main project. And the motor for that, and this is the... Wait, where'd I put that thing? Oh. Here it is. Ugh. The statters on this are remarkably bad. So let's see if I can very quickly... Oh, no, because I put the snap ring back on because I'm dumb like that. Anyway, gonna order its bigger brother because it can handle wattage better than that one. This turbo is going to be for the... I'm going to do an 11 blade version for this, and then that'll push some air for sure. 11 blades probably adjust the pitch and angle, so on and so forth. But we'll get to that. This is sort of what I was going to do for the 11 blade. I was going to go ahead and use this and print the rest of the fins or the blades for the hub. So, look, Mickey Mouse in the wind. But other than that, we will end it just by saying I thank you all for being here. I appreciate everyone who showed up. Mark, I wish you the best, man. I really do. It was a good conversation. And regardless of what you believe, we all still believe in you. So thanks for stopping by. Buck, Jay, PXD, Angel, my wife, everybody that was on today, anyone who I forgot, because basically names go, like you give me your name, it goes into a paper shredder. It's just ATHD, nothing I can do about it. So, I do remember all of you because it's on my computer. But thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate you. Love you all. I will see you again soon with the new motor, but you might see that 24-hour Twinkie before then. So be looking for it. Until then, from everyone here at DPC, we thank you, and you have a wonderful evening.